Hello, everybody. I'm here. I'm back in St. Louis, and I'm kind of worn out because you know what sucks more than anything is to go through haunted house season. And then, like, you don't even get a chance to take even so much as a deep breath. And, you know, because we build attractions for people, you don't even take a deep breath and then whammo, you are trying to scramble to go to IAAPA. That's why sometimes, like, we have a really good booth and sometimes we don't. Because, I don't know. Like, you just can't even focus on it. Does that make sense? But anyway, we're back, and I'm trying to build up my stamina to start figuring out a plan of everything to do. And one of the things is working on this alien escape room, I can tell you that. And you can see we've added a few more things. But we are working on it. It's coming together little by little by little by little by little. And as you can see in here, we've started to try to put the pieces together. It's coming together little by little by little by little by little. I mean, it seems like it's so far off, but we're hoping, and there's going to be a two-way mirror in there, but we're hoping that we can get this thing done probably within the next, I don't know, like, hopefully we can get this thing done in the next week and a half. And when I say get the thing done, I mean just literally have it built. Okay, that's the goal, is to have it built. And then hopefully starting the week after that, we can start to try to paint it. That's the goal. So we've got to get the alien escape construction done by hopefully next Friday, and we're going to try to do that, and then we're going to try to get it painted. And let me show you something. This is kind of a script for the alien, and we're working with a company on it, and they're gonna assist us on getting this alien escape built, and there's more to come on that later on down the road. So here's what we got to do, okay? And I'll tell you what, there's not very many people in any kind of business that is mentally able to walk, chew gum, spit. I mean, literally, you have to be built different to run your own business. You just do. And this is just the way that my mind works. So I don't know. Here's what we got to do. We've got to get this alien done. I just went to IAAPA. I've got to follow up with all the leads from people that want amusement attractions. I got to figure out how many of these we can actually build, considering that we have a whole haunted house to build. And meaning if we take televisions apart, and then we have this escape room to do. It's like, but there's also another project that we're doing. It's another big project. We're taking the Hauntworld room, we used to sell a lot of DVDs and magazines and all these kinds of things. And we had a whole room dedicated to stock for all this stuff. And we took it all out. And we're gonna move our actors room back to this room because that's where it used to be. And so we've got this project on board as well. So here's kind of our plan. We're going to finish the actors room first. That's our first priority. Second priority is for me to get all the marketing kind of sort of in place for the Krampus event. And then, of course, I forgot the fact that we're trying to decorate the darkness and lamp for Krampus. I've just let that slip through my fingers. Okay, so we have to do that. We're going to get the actors room rebuilt, and it's going to be actually better. And then we have to reorganize the entire what would it be, the old actors room. And we're trying to redo this so that it leaves more options open on what to do with that space, because it's actually right below where Terrorvisions is. So, theoretically, you could put an attraction in there, but it also can serve as a shop. Let's say if we take on a haunted house project or, another type of project. But for now, we're going to clear it out, rearrange the whole room, so that we can use it as like a really big staging area for rebuilding Terrorvisions. We got to be able to have somewhere to put all the props and the materials and everything else to get this done. So no sooner than we get the haunted house actors room for the darkness rebuilt, we're hoping to have that also done by next Friday, and we're going to have the alien escape room construction-wise built, and we'll get it painted, and then we can light it up, theme it, and all of that, and we'll work on all that. Then we're going to go literally straight to trying to remove Terrorvisions, and I don't know if we're going to be able to remove it before or right after Christmas, because when I say Christmas, I mean the Krampus event. So that's what's going on. And it's a lot of stuff. And so can you get all this done in time for Transworld? So what would be different for Transworld at the Darkness? Well, if all this stuff is done, we're going to have a brand new escape room. We're going to have a brand new actors room. We're going to have, and we're talking about built an actors room from scratch. We're going to have a whole new section on the back of the Darkness. We're going to have a bigger retail store. It's a lot, right? That's a whole lot of stuff. Plus, we plan on doing some improvements and changes to the lamp. So this is everything we're trying to accomplish between now and Transworld. So if we open for Transworld, on our behind the scenes tour, we actually would open the doors for our actors room so people can go in there and check out an actors room, see all of the whole thing. You would be able to go to the Lemp Haunted House. You would be able to go to the escape room. So we're planning on all of this being part of our behind the scenes tour, opening the Lemp with live actors on Friday and the Darkness on Saturday. Now, all this hinges on us feeling confident that we can get all these things done. If we don't think we can get all these things done, then we would not have any tour at all. Like none, zero. So that's just kind of sort of where it's all at. That's what we're up to. And this is a lot of stuff. Probably more than a normal person could bite off, but I'm going to need to hire people from around the industry. So if you're interested, reach out to us. We're going to have to hire some carpenters, some scenic painters, a whole bunch of people, in fact, to pull this off, because we're going to need a lot of people. So that's kind of sort of what's going on here. And so, with all that being said, there's no rest whatsoever. You're gonna go straight from the haunted house season. And by the way, this was one of the toughest seasons to get open because Creepy World was so hard to get open. So it's just like there's not a single second to rest. You go from the haunt season to IAAPA, right into the volcano. I was gonna say right into the fire, but hell with the fire, you're going right into the lava. And so that's kind of sort of where we're at. And so there's your update on what's going on here. And so, so stay tuned for any kind of announcements. I'm not gonna know anything until after Krampus. So I know how long it would take to get TerraVisions out, how long it would take to put it back, blah, 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 okay? A lot of that hinges on how many people from the industry that I can hire. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I have to have a better idea of like when we might be able to get all this started. I'm thinking it would be like, you know, right after our Krampus event, we can get it going, or maybe really start flying January the 1st. So this is what's going on and this is what's happening. So with all that being said, I wanted to talk about a topic today that I thought was kind of interesting, something that I've been thinking about literally since the Halloween industry was, not the Halloween industry, but the haunted house season kind of started, and kind of like started picking up, thinking about it more and more and more as the season went on. And it's the idea about, would dynamic pricing be the way to go for haunted houses? And I'm gonna throw out a couple theories. So, and before I do, I want to mention something. While I was at IAAPA, apparently somebody videotaped me driving in, you know, a crippled person's cart. You know, like it's actually kind of funny. But here's, I want to address this because I hear, and I didn't ever see any of the videos, but I just heard people were putting, you know, audio to it and stuff like that. And I don't know what the intent was, why somebody thought that was funny to put up. Because to me it's not funny, but I didn't see any of the videos. But let me explain the reason why I used the cart at IAAPA. So 3 years ago, I tore my Achilles tendon. This is like the worst thing in your whole leg, that body, whatever, you could tear. And it literally almost prohibited me from being able to walk, like at all. And it took over a year to heal. So, you know, I want to see the IAAPA show. And what I would do in the past, prior to tearing my Achilles tendon, I would literally walk sections of the show. Meaning I would leave the booth and I would walk a section of IAAPA, and then the next day I'd get another section and another section. Because to actually walk the show start to finish, I think would take 7-8 hours. It would take an entire day, okay, to walk the whole show and stop and see stuff. And here's the thing, about 80% of it you would have no interest in whatsoever. So when I tore my Achilles tendon and I was having problems walking, I wanted to see the show. And so I said, you know, I'm gonna rent a cart. So I did. I rented a cart literally for, you know, three days or something. And when I realized how fast I could see the entire show, and like kind of dawned on me, like, why didn't I think of this sooner? I mean, not that I have a problem walking. I don't have a problem walking the whole entire show. You know, I actually sometimes don't sleep for days. And so I have no problem. I have the energy of a bull. And, but when I started doing this YouTube page for you guys here in the haunted house industry, it kind of made me realize, like, hey, you know, I need to stay in my booth because I'm paying thousands of dollars to be in my booth. My goal is, you know, is not to make videos for the haunted house industry, but to, you know, we have employees, and it's one of the ways we pay the bills around here, selling attractions. So I really need to stay in the booth because I'm the #1 salesperson, obviously, and so I can't be gone for hours at a time. And then even though they would call me if a big client came in, I might be like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes away. But when I had this cart, they call me and I'd be back in 4 minutes. And so anyway, I decided as we started doing this YouTube channel, like, oh man, that was such a great thing. So now, like last year when I filmed the IAAPA show, I filmed it from a cart and I was able to do the whole show very, very quickly. So of course I went and got the cart again. And I think I got the cart on the second to last day. And it was the only day that I got the cart, and I really only drove it for like an hour. And I still ventured out and walked around a little bit. And then on the last day of IAAPA, I didn't have a cart. I actually walked, I don't know, for about 3 to 4 hours. I left, came back, and I was kind of walking around and seeing stuff. But the cart really was a good idea, and actually it makes me smart. It doesn't make me stupid, it makes me smart. It doesn't make me lazy, it makes me smart. Because you can literally get around that show very quickly, and you can see the entire show and pinpoint some of the things you might want to focus on. And so what I did is I roamed the show with the cart, with the camera, and then still took 2 parts. Because the battery died. So I was able, like with the first video, to get about 60% of the show, and then I got the other 40, and I still might have missed some aisles or whatever, but I just zoomed up and down, and that was the only reason I had the cart, was to make a video. And my video is actually going to suck, because like people like Tampa J and Carpetbagger and some of these guys were at IAAPA, and they make great videos, and they actually experience things. I didn't experience anything. What I tried to do was make a video so that you could see what exactly is at the show in a very fast way. So it gives you a really good idea of everything that was there. Not to focus on any one booth, not to focus on any one thing, but to zoom up and down the aisles as fast as possible. So like you can make a decision on whether or not you think IAAPA would be a good investment of your time to go there and figure out, like, you know, if you want to put some time into going to IAAPA. I will tell you, like from a haunted standpoint, they don't have a lot of stuff there, but what they do have is they have a lot of things that you could use for your haunted house, but they have a lot of things if you were going to get into another business, amusement. They didn't have a whole lot of haunt stuff there, and as far as haunted house owners coming to the show, I mean, there's not that many. I mean, there might have been 40 or 50 haunt owners there that I saw. So it's not overwhelming. I mean, like a friend of mine, Dwayne Sandburn, like, you know, he comes to IAAPA maybe every other year, or every 3 years or so. He didn't go this year. Just as an example, it's a fun show to go to. Definitely a fun show to go to. I actually would have more fun there if it wasn't tied down to a booth. But I just wanted to mention this because this is why I rent the cart. It makes me smart because I was able to zoom around the show and see everything like in an hour. And I got called back to my booth a couple times because they said, hey, there's an important client, you need to come back right away. And I was literally back in like a minute or two. It was like that quick. So I basically was out of my booth for 4 days at the show for a total of maybe 3 hours across all 4 days. And 2 of them was on the last day when there was hardly no one there. And then the 1 hour that I zoomed up and down and used the cart. So there you go. I wanted to address that because I would advise other people to do the same thing if you're trying to like see the whole show very quickly and get a better idea. I bet you too, with that cart, even if you were to stop at booths and stuff, I bet you could really just go to do the whole show in about 4 or 5 hours with the cart. But if you're walking, it's going to take an entire day. Anyway, moving on to the dynamic pricing that I wanted to talk about. So I got some theories here. And I think I can prove them now. And I've talked to a couple haunt owners who were telling me that, hey, you know, on a night like Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, they're doing 1,000 people. They're doing 2,000 people, and they thought it was a slow night or whatever. And then I looked into it a little bit more. I'm like, how could that be? Well, because of dynamic pricing. So they have a price of like $19 or something like that. And you might think this is unheard of. $19. But you know, $20, things like this. If you get 1,500 people on Tuesdays at $20, that's a lot of money, okay? And 1,500 people is, you know, very manageable on a Tuesday. You probably could run those people through in 3 hours, no problem. But I can tell you something. On Friday the 13th, because I'm going to just say this because I just think it, but Friday the 13th means nothing. Nobody gives a crap about Friday the 13th. I don't think it brings you more people just because it's Friday the 13th. But on Friday the 13th we open. I think you get a little something, I don't know. But we open on Friday the 13th. Now, typically, if we open this early in September, we'd get 400 people, 500 people, something like this, right? So we know what we did. We lowered the price drastically, and we got 2,000 people on that particular night. Now, when we took the price back to normal, the attendance dropped significantly, which makes me think, if you did dynamic pricing and you said, hey, you know, here's a different price for every day, and then on top of it you went out and you put a limit on how many people could buy. So if you want to come on a Tuesday, hey, it's limited to 1,000 people and it's $19.95. Then you can also tag on a higher service fee, by the way, and you can get that price up to, say, $23, and it's like limited to 1,000 people. Well, hello, that's 20 grand. Okay, if you would open on that day without the dynamic pricing, and I'm looking at my phone here because I happen to have a calculator on it. Let's say if you opened up on that night, you did 325 people. Let's say it was at 38 bucks. That's $12,350. Okay. Now, let's say you did 1,000 people times $23. That's $23,000. So it's essentially double. It's double the revenue. Now, you go to some of your busiest nights and you raise the price even higher than you normally would charge. What could that do to that night? It could lower the attendance, but you get the same amount of money because you raise the price and you offer a better show. Would that be a bad thing? So what we've been doing around here at our haunted houses is we've been opening less days. But you know, there's an old saying, you can't make money if you're not open. Well, what's the point of being open if you do 200, 300 people and you pay all these actors? And if they'll come on a Tuesday, they'll come on a Wednesday. If they'll come on a Wednesday, they'll come on a Thursday. If they come on a Thursday, they'll come on a Friday. That's one way to think about it. But when you introduce the idea of dynamic pricing, isn't it possible that maybe you could do 1,000 people Monday through Thursday every single day in October? If you literally promoted it, it's limited to 1,000 people each night at $19.95. You tack on a $3 service fee, FYI, and you're picking up, and we're just gonna throw this out there, okay? I'm getting my calculator out again. If you opened, literally, if you started opening every night in October, and I'm talking about every single night. So let's just say, for the sake of the argument, because I'm not going to look at a calendar and see how many Mondays and Tuesdays and Thursdays there are in October 2025. But let's just say there's 4 weeks. So that's 4 times 4. Whoops. That's 4 times 4. That's 16 days times 1,000 people. That's 16,000 people times $23 a person. That's $368,000. Okay, that's pretty good. And by the way, the closer you get to Halloween, you can say, hey, there's 1,250 people for this day and 1,500 for that day at the lower price. And then on the weekends, the price is normal, or it goes up. Closer to Halloween, the price goes up and up and up. So let's look at it this way. If I did 2,500 people, okay, as you can see, I'm using my calculator here, and I got the price, let's say, all the way to, like, say, $40. That's $100,000, okay? But let's say I did 3,500 people, and let's say the price was $32. That's $112,000. So much less people, not a significant difference. But if you opened all 31 days of October, and this is what I'm actually thinking, is that why not be open every single night and have dynamic pricing with a cap on each one of these nights. This would drastically raise attendance, and if you ask me, raise revenue. So again, let's just say on the first week of October, you said it's limited to 1,000 people on Monday, 1,000 on Tuesday, 1,000 on Wednesday, 1,000 on Thursday, and it was $20 with a cap of 1,000 people with a $3 service fee. That's $23. And then when you get to the second week, it goes to, like, say, $21 or $22, and with a $2 or $3 service fee. So it gets up to kind of like $25. Okay, and then that first weekend in October, you say, okay, the price for Friday and Saturday is going to not even go up to the peak that you normally charge. And let's just say that price is going to be, it's going to be $27.95. And then when you get to the second week, again, you go to, say, $21 for Monday through Thursday. And then when you go to the weekend, you hike it up again, and now it's like up to, say, $28. And then when you get to the third week, now we're getting into the 2 busiest weeks, right? The last 4 days, 4 Fridays and Saturdays in October. And we're not even talking about Sundays yet. Okay, and then now that third week, you take the Monday through Tuesday, and you take it up to, say, $22 with a service fee. And then that Friday and Saturday goes up to, say, $38.95 for Friday, $38.95 for Sunday. I'm just giving you an example for those 3 days. And then the fourth week, you take the Monday through Thursday, and you take it up to, say, $24.95. Still good deal, okay? And then on Friday and Saturday again, you have the full price. And I'm just making up a full price. Let's say it's $38.95, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And so, and then, like, say on Sundays, you lower it just a little bit. And then you literally just market that your haunt has caps of how many people you can do. And so if you did 1,000 people, I want you to think about this for a second. Most haunts don't do 30,000 people. But what if you did 1,000 people every night, which you're probably not going to do, but let's just say you did. You literally if you were open for 31 nights, you would do 31,000 people. Okay, think about that for a second. Think about that. And then you add in the weekends, and you add in the last 4 Fridays and Saturdays as an example. And instead of doing 1,000, let's say you did 3,000. So you would pick up another, so you'd be 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. All of a sudden you're at 39,000 people. I'm just throwing it out there, and I'm giving you an example that this could be a big game changer. But here's the downside. Here's the risk, okay? Because there's a risk with everything. The risk is that you put the dynamic pricing in place, and then you open on a Monday. And in the past, many years ago, you used to be open a lot more days, and you used to be open on that day, and you would get 250 people, okay? And then you open, and guess what? How many people you got? 250 people. It would be a disaster, okay? It would be an absolute catastrophe. I agree, okay? This is the downside. You would have to basically, I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. That's why it's something you have to think about. It's something I have to think about because, you know, I've got 3 haunts. To limit the risk, I could just open the darkness only, and just open this one and only haunt. And I could get the actors from the other 2 haunts to help keep the place staffed for 31 days, okay? So here's what I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking, you know, out loud here, okay? Because you know what I do is, and I want you to know, who else is trying to help you like this? It's absolutely nobody, okay? Now, I'm not saying I'm 100% right about everything, but what I am saying is, okay, that I am pretty smart, I think, and, you know, as I've gotten older, I think I've gotten smarter, okay? And you know why I'm smarter? Because I've tried everything under the sun, and when you have all these experiences, you can start to like remember how you did, or when you tried this and when you didn't try that. So let me just toss out what I'm thinking, like off the top of my head. To open the darkness every single night in October, every night, and do dynamic pricing. And, you know, open the limp like I did before, you know, on the weekends only, okay? Doesn't interfere in any way, shape, form, or fashion, compete-wise with the darkness, because I don't want to compete with myself, okay? And then, you know, Creepy World, open it like I did before, you know, like on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, okay? You know, open a few more days than I did last year, but not a ton more. And just roll with the darkness, with dynamic pricing, and literally try to open Creepy World a little sooner than I have in the past with dynamic pricing as well. So you run darkness with dynamic pricing and see what happens. So every night of the week, there is a single haunted house that will definitely be open, and that's an every night thing. And now, you know what else I could do? Is I could open my escape rooms 7 days a week in October. 7 days a week. I could absolutely do this because they would feed each other. And I think the reason why I moved away from being open every night is, first off, it's the grind, okay? It's the grind. But if I got together with all my staff and I said, hey, you know, you don't want to work 7 days a week, let's move all the actors around, okay? And let's have a management crew from the Limp run the darkness every Mondays, and the Creepy World would run it every Tuesday, and so on and so forth. This could work. This could absolutely work. And I would only consider doing it because of dynamic pricing. So now I am literally convinced I'm trying to convince myself to open the darkness, and I'd have to look at the calendar. You know what? And you're gonna make me do it, aren't you? So I'm going to do it, okay? I've got my phone. Let me get my phone. Let's look at the calendar dates together. All right. So we got to go all the way to next. Okay, here we go. So I probably would not open the darkness September the 12th and 13th. But maybe I would. And you know what I would do? Dynamic pricing on the 12th and 13th. I might literally say that the darkness is open the 12th and the 13th, and the ticket prices are $18.95. Why not? And then on 19th and the 20th, same thing. 26th and 27th, you know, you would open, you would raise the price up quite a bit. And then maybe you don't open October 1st and the 2nd, and you kick everything off on October the 3rd. So next year, you're actually gonna have 4.5 weekends in October, because Halloween is going to be on the 31st. And of course, obviously, you people are going to be open November the 1st, and then you have to decide, do you want to be open November the 7th and the 8th? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. By the way, in February, for My Bloody Valentine's, you have a Friday the 13th in February. That's nice. All right, so I'm looking at this calendar. All right, so here's my theory, and let me hear the comments below. You open on September the 12th and the 13th, and you dynamic price it out, and you say the tickets are $18.95. On the 19th and 20th, $18.95. September 26th and 27th, $19.95. October the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, which is just Friday and Saturday, you'd go up to like $26.95. And then come Sunday, you would drop it down to say like $22.95. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you would sell it at $19.95. And then when you get to October the 10th and the 11th, you get the price back up. It's like, okay, it's $35.95 or whatever it is. And then on Sunday, you hike it up to, $32.95 or something. And then you get to the weekdays, October 13, 14, 15, and 16. That's Monday through Thursday. You keep the price at $19.95. And then on the 17th and 18th, which is a Friday and a Saturday, that's when it goes to full price. Let's say it's $38.95 or something like that. And then on the 19th, which is the second to last Sunday, you would just raise the price to like say $32.95, so it would be discounted. And then you would have the week Monday through Thursday, the 20, 21, 22, 23, and you would take that price and you would raise it to say like $22.95, so you'd bump it up like $3. And then on the 24th and 25th, which is a Friday and Saturday, you go full price. 26th, essentially you'd go full price. And then when you get into this last stretch, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is 27, 28, 29, 30, you would take the price up to say like $24.95. And then on Halloween, it would just be full price. And then on November the 1st, it would be like full price. And then if you open November the 7th and 8th, you take the price back down to say $24.95. Now, keep in mind, all the things I'm saying to do when you take the price down to $24.95 or $19.99, you're tacking on a service fee. So this gives you ability to promote a price of $19.95, but it's going to have a $3 service fee plus tax. So it's not like they're actually going to only pay. But what if you could get numbers on a Monday and a Tuesday that you were not open before, and you could start getting numbers of 800, 600, and it builds, and it's 600, and then 700, it's 800, it's 1,000, it's 1,200, whatever. You could absolutely crush your attendance, and you could also And you have to think about this. When you have things like gift stores and you have other ancillary things, these people are spending money on other stuff. This could literally send our gift store skyrocketing from, we're going to do about 100,000 this year, and maybe we could do 200,000 next year. You just never know when you're getting this kind of attendance on a nightly basis. These are things to think about. These are things to think about. And I will say this too. If you actually were going to do and explore something like this, you would really need to get this figured out in the next 3 months so that you could start educating and dropping these kinds of clues with your guests now. And so this is something that I think that I'm going to move towards doing with the darkness. So I think, oh man, our attendance, would be somewhere, just guessing, maybe 6,000 or 7,000 more in attendance when it's all added up, and the revenue could be $250,000 more. This is something to ponder. This is something to think about, and it's something that should be discussed. So, this is very interesting. Now, I want to make another announcement because I have big news. Big news. And I have to talk to the power brokers over at Transworld first. But do you remember how I said we cleared out our actors room? So we're not going to just store all this stuff. We're going to probably mostly just give it away. So I want to talk to Transworld about bringing all of these Hauntworld magazines and all these videos and literally just give them all away. We're talking about thousands of pieces. So this is something we're thinking about, and we're going to talk to Transworld about this. But yeah, we just want the industry to have it. I'm not going to throw it away. I want to give it away. So that's one of the things I wanted to get out in this video. I wanted to discuss this issue of dynamic pricing with you as a way to possibly increase your attendance by 30%. And it would be more work to be open every day, but I think we could do it. So this is what I'm thinking. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And you just got like the complete update. We talked about all the stuff that we're doing around here. We talked about me rolling around, and I heard somebody put an audio track to it, like, and he's rolling, or something like that. I think that's kind of funny. But like now I've explained to you why I got that cart. So we talked about a variety of things. Now I will say, if we do a tour, it's really going to hinge on if I can get enough people to come here in St. Louis and help me right after Thanksgiving, or right after our Krampus event. If I can get enough people to come up here and help me and we can get this done, then this would be the plan for our tour. And so yes, it will also include our brand new actors room. We're going to let everybody roam around through there. We've never let anybody do that before, so they would be able to do it this year. In addition, so there you go. There you have it. So hopefully you liked the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will talk soon. So with that being said, have a great Thanksgiving, and I look forward to talking to you all again very, very soon. So from here at St. Louis Escape, we will talk again very soon.